Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you all and I bring glad tidings. A quick short video that I want to address right now. Pastor Tunde Bakare versus President Buhari. Now, earlier on today, it hit the blogs real hard. There is gross failure in Buhari's administration. I'm terribly shocked. This is from Pastor Tunde Bakare. And you can find the story on Linda Ikeji's blog, lindaikeji.com, lindaikejisblog.com. Now, according to the story, clergyman and senior pastor of the Citadel Global Community Church has said that he is shocked by the gross failure experienced so far by the Buhari administration. Pastor Bakare, who had been very critical of the Buhari administration, said this during a recent interview with Channels TV. Bakare, who was President Buhari's running mate in 2011, said this was not the Nigeria everyone envisioned after President Buhari took over the office in 2015. This is not the Nigeria we envision, not only as young people, but in recent past. It is as if we're again. Nigeria has a way of bouncing back. We're full of hope that God Almighty will help us. We are in a very perplexing situation as a nation. Many things that we didn't see before are happening now. Even the president himself said so, that nothing worries or bothers him like what is happening in the Northeast, especially the banditry and the kidnapping. Asked if he was surprised by the state of the nation, considering the role he played in the emergence of the All Progressive Congress, APC, to power, Bakare said he is terribly shocked, and he added that Nigerians, including himself, were hopeful about the change promised by the APC. Let's talk about this very quickly. First things first, I applaud Pastor Bakare for speaking out. Most pastors are either silent or sitting on the fence at best. Some people would say, oh, because he wasn't picked as the second running mate, that is why this is happening. I beg to differ. You see, the fact that you lost a game doesn't mean you can't criticize those who won. Nigeria is in a very perplexing state, and that I agree with. Oh yeah, we're in a place that no one should be at as a nation. And the further we sink into this place, the more we seem to accept it as our norm. Let me ask you a question. Do you think if Bakare, that's Pastor Bakare, had been in power, Nigeria would have been better? Just ask. Do you think if Pastor Bakare had been in power, Nigeria would have been any better? What is it that Pastor Bakare would have done that Pastor Osinbajo didn't do? So it's one thing to criticize. It's one thing to actually ask yourself, could you have done a better job? I'm proud of the fact that he's speaking out. And yes, people need to speak out. But the question is not just speaking out. What do we do to move our country forward? What do we do to move our country to where we deserve to be? And him being a pastor and Pastor Osinbajo being a pastor, I don't see what radical changes he would have done. Maybe if we had Idiagbon in power, Babatunde, the late Babatunde Idiagbon, then, because we saw the radical change Idiagbon had in the 80s, with regards to Nigeria. But Idiagbo is gone now. Maybe Obasanjo, because of his results. Funny thing is, maybe even Tinubu. But I don't think anyone who doesn't wield political power and who isn't strong enough to put his foot down will be able to have made a difference. I stand to be corrected, but this is my humble opinion. We would have, if there was a pastor that would have probably done something in power, it would be a radical pastor, those pastors that are ready to come and fight. And I know you might disagree with me, but Bishop Oyedepo, Apostle Suleiman, those radical, those ones that is hard for you to pipe them down with anything, those ones that are always boiling, ready to fight, those are the ones that I think would have made a difference as pastors in Nigeria. That's my humble opinion. Do you agree with me? I want to see if I can bring one or two people up real quick. I want to keep it moving. I don't want to waste your time. Someone said, please remember 80% of your viewers were born in the late 90s. I'm sorry. I remember the 80s and I remember Idiagbo and Buhari in the first instance. Not what they have now. As pastors, I'm just saying, as pastors, those are the only pastors I think can be radical enough to work with the Buhari. See, what we are doing is hypothetically. Let's imagine President Buhari chose another pastor among the crop of Nigerian pastors that we have. Who do you think will be able to make a difference? Instead of Professor Shibajo, do you think Bakare, you have all the pastors you have, Pastor Adeboye, Buhari, Bakare, Adefarasin, Suleiman, Oyedepo, all the pastors, who do you think would have made a difference? Who do you think would have made a significant difference? Let's say we really had to put a pastor in power. Who? Someone said only you. I think Adefarasin. Do you think Adefarasin? Yes, I love the way Adefarasin stands up to the political elite. And I love the way he's been speaking out of late. Don't get me wrong. But do you think, you see, it's not one thing to talk, it's another thing to have mind. Do you think he has the mind? You see, talk now. To me personally, I believe Bishop Oyedepo get that mind. And the second person who I believe he get that mind is Suleiman. Someone said, no more pastors, let's try an atheist. So let's talk. As in, you see, listen, Adefarasin, TB Joshua would speak the truth, but he's soft. The late TB Joshua would speak the truth, but he's soft. We need someone we know they hear word. Not those pastors, we lie, we are not going to agree. This is how Nigeria is going to be. I'm just saying, do you think Pastor Tunde Bakare is a good critic? I appreciate it, but in my humble opinion, everybody just thinks I feel doing. It requires a type of mind. Someone said Oyedepo is fearless. Yes, I agree. Somebody way ready face them. Say yes. Pastor Sam Adeyemi will speak the truth, but does he have mind? Father Bakare, I comment my reserve. I comment my reserve. We're not talking of politicians now. I'm talking about pastors, because what we're trying to listen here, let me break it down to you. Pastor Bakare was the running mate of President Buhari. We now have another pastor that is his current running mate with him in office. So, if we were to, the question is simple, if we were to replace one pastor with the other, Pastor Chris, that's a choice right there. That's a choice right there. Pastor Chris no agree. That's a choice right there. Yeah. So to me, it boils down to four people: Adefarasin, Chris Oyakilome, Bishop Oyedepo, Johnson Suleiman. Indaboski, yes, but he has not run an organization long enough. Pastor Adeboye is gentle. I'm not sure personally, he's too gentle. You know, go, this thing a gra he need. So that's the question. Hypothetically, if we didn't have Pastor Chris Okotie, in my humble opinion, I'm not sure. You see, people like Itwa Igodalo, they're intellectuals. Nigeria does not only need intellectuals. Nigeria needs gra. When you think of a running mate, think of Idi Agbon. Does anybody remember Babatunde Idi Agbon? May his soul rest in peace. Who remembers Babatunde Idi Agbon? So we're thinking of a Babatunde Idi Agbon kind of pastor. Who remembers Tunde Idi Agbon? So guys, you can see that this is a very, very heard stories about Tunde Idi Agbon during that them start war against indiscipline. They used to flog Nigerians to stand in queue. Someone say Pastor Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Don't cheat. We are talking of pastors here. Someone says Suleiman will be radical. Someone said, even my parents don't remember. How young are you? I remember clearly the first War Against Indiscipline soundtrack was issued by, what's his name? Was the first skit was done by Sam Loco. Those days, skit na television, not before social media. So let's think about that's one question. The second question is, what is the way forward? Who do we really need to have in the helm of affairs of this country if this country is to move forward? Let me ask you guys a question. What do you think of Tinubu as Nigeria's president? I was having this argument with my mother-in-law, Taste Buds, and a few other people in the car the other day when we saw a Tinubu poster. And we're talking about the pros and the cons. What do you guys think? Just an open question. Everybody's saying Tinubu cancel. I'm asking you two questions. Why and what are our options. You see, let us be very careful when we jump and say no to something without first of all checking the options, and secondly asking ourselves why. Now, another thing we need to realize is we don't want to recycle, yeah, but we already have our young politicians already joining their parties. Young entertainers are already busy. So before we start shouting never option, eyes, last election opened our eyes to the fact that we had only two candidates, Buhari and Atiku. Let's talk. I'm wearing a green shirt. Good luck, Jonathan. So we can have more Desianis. No, I'm sorry. My humble opinion, nah fam. No. My problem is, yes, Seun Kuti is passionate about Nigeria. Can he get there? Will he be voted? Listen, remember, you see, my problem with you people is you people like to imagine nice things. Let's remember last election. Last election, we had two candidates, Atiku and Buhari. Everybody else, those were the two main parties. Everybody else was doing get together. They were not doing party. Sowore is qualified. I agree. How far did he go last election? Sowore did not have 30,000 votes. Meanwhile, Atiku and Buhari were in their millions. Let's be honest. You see, my problem is let's not be deluded. Oh, I want a Sowore, Kuti, Mogalu combination, but they are not going to get there. It's impossible. Peter Obi can get there. It's impossible. Peter Obi can get there. But he can't get there alone. He needs somebody to carry him on his back, like Tinubu. Now, here's the thing. Buhari can't get there again because this this tenure is over. Atiku, yes. Tinubu, yes. Now, if we have Peter Obi piggybacking on either of them, it can work perfectly well. But Peter Obi alone cannot win against them. Nigeria needs a young person, but can Nigeria afford the young person? Are you going to vote for that young person? Listen, let's look at our results. No, they lie, give yourself. This is the problem I have with Nigerians. Now, pastor, do you this thing? No. They go tell you, say, ants we carry elephants in Jesus' name. It doesn't work like that. If only you see, let me tell you, Seun Kuti does not have the political clout to catch the whole Nigeria. Oh, if he's my best candidate, my only problem is, what are you doing there? My only problem is, can he get there? Peter Obi cannot win. Let's stop lying to ourselves. He can't win. He can piggyback on somebody and win. But alone, he can't do it. Let me tell you the people that can get there alone. Atiku, Tinubu, and anybody in their political class. Shey Makinde can try, but can he win Nigeria? It gets down to people like Atiku, and just think about it too. So if we had Atiku and Tinubu, who would you vote for? The youth will not vote for. You see, my problem with Nigeria is, let me tell you, I can bet 1 million naira that the next leader is not going to be a youth. The next leader is not going to be a youth. I can bet 1 million naira with anybody. You know that it can't happen. It can't happen in the next 10 years. We are not there in that mind space yet. We are still in our Babiala stage. Peter Obi can stand on the back of Atiku or on the back of Tinubu and have a good shot. Yes, I agree with, but on his own, I'm not sure. So let's see what other choices that we have. We have the youths, Showore, Sheokuti, Mogalu, all those people that did very well last election. Oh yes, they tried. Fashola, now you are talking. A Fashola and Peter Obi can work. You can't tell me not to call this name. This is your reality. You are there sitting down there. Will you vote? Did you vote last election? Even Sanusi can't get there. You see, we are talking of someone like Obasanjo. Someone says Showore, Mogalu, or nobody else. Let me tell you what happened last election. We happened. As in, how do you jump from 30,000 votes to 1 million votes? If Shehu Kuti is going to come in, he has to come in with someone like Fashola. Shehu Kuti and Fashola is realistic. I'm not sure it's even attainable, but it's realistic. Showore, Shehu Kuti. I'm not sure in Nigeria of today. You don't see results. Can we have a radical mind shift? Why are you cracking jokes? Why are you saying Speed Darlington? We are talking about serious issues. Someone said, I can't believe Tinubu is being mentioned. Anybody that is ready to accept the political reality of Nigeria would understand what our political reality truly is. But let me tell you something. You cannot rig election from 50,000 to 1.5 million. You can rig 1.3 million to 1.6. You can rig 1.4 to 1.5, 1.4 to 1.7. You cannot rig 100,000 to 1.5. It's impossible. Someone said Daddy Freeze, the Free Nation needs to stand for someone. You can't still win. I'm a realist. I love Showore, is my friend and brother, but I'm not sure he's ready yet. I'm not sure. Shehu Kuti is my best candidate by far. If everybody had an equal opportunity, I'll go for Shehu Kuti. Without thinking about it, that's our next president. Then we can team him up with a Peter Obi, I'm good. But is it possible? It's like going into Coscharis and you have 10 million naira in your pocket, and as you enter there, the first thing you point out to is Range Rover Vogue autobiography 2021. You say, that's what I want, and they bring you the bill 135 million and you have 10 million. Listen, if you carry 10 million enter Coscharis, I'm not sure say if you buy mini brand new, I'm not sure, but you want range, check your pocket. He is ready. Someone said, is Showore not ready yet? Shehu Kuti and Showore are ready. You are not ready. They can't vote for themselves. You are not ready. You will either not vote, but because you are going to vote in Big Brother, just watch you. You will not vote for the election, but you will vote for Big Brother. You are not ready. Why are you fooling yourself? You have 10 million, you are pricing range, and you want 2021, and you want brand new. It's impossible. Range is a good car. Your money no fit buy am. Yes, I finished from University of Ibadan. Yule Doche will run. He's a good guy. He has some bright ideas. He can't get there. In my humble opinion, he cannot get there. Let's be telling ourselves the truth. It's unfortunate, but this is the truth. So if you now tell me that Atiku and Seun Kuti is a possibility, now you are no longer giving me a possibility, you are giving me a probability, Seth. If you tell me Tinubu and Sowore, Tinubu and Mogalu, Tinubu and Peter Obi, that's doable. It's hope. That's the truth. So my humble opinion is, if you have a very brilliant candidate, let him piggyback on a political maestro. Sowore, Seun Kuti, Mogalu, Peter Obi, they are the hope of Nigeria. Our elders are not the hope. But it's only our elders that can get there. So this, our hope, needs to go in with the elders and then take over power from the elders 8 years later after being established politically. That's our hope. Now we can have a Tinubu Adefarasin. You can even bring in a pastor there. Tinubu Adefarasin. I like Fela Durotoye. I'm not confident. Humbly, my own humble opinion, I'm not very confident. I'm more confident in Mogalu and Sowore. Peter Obi and Shina Pella, no. Tinubu and Shina Pella, yes. Atiku and Shina Pella, yes. Shina Pella is young, dynamic, has a lot of political clout, but he's like Desmond Elliott. That's this level. In my humble opinion, it's my brother, I stand corrected, but that's my humble opinion. So think about it. So here's my strategy to Nigerian youths. Let's think. We can't win it. We are being stupid if we think we can. We want a young leader, you are going to go, and let me tell you, they know that you're going to come and mess yourself up. You will go and gather, instead of you to team up the votes on a better candidate and push your younger candidate to piggyback on another strong candidate. What you are doing is you want your younger candidate to go and lie to himself that he will win, which you know is a lie. He will never win. So you all waste your votes, waste your money, waste everything. No strategy. The strategy is, in my humble opinion, and I stand corrected, and the future of Nigeria lies in being able to understand this strategy. Take a powerful old hand, a powerful elder. By powerful elder, here are the people in that list: Obasanjo, Tinubu, Atiku. Even Fashola no reach here yet. These are the, when you say a, maybe even Jonathan to an extent. Then take your real candidate. Your Seun Kuti, your Sowore, your Fashola, your Peter Obi, your Shina Pella, your Mogalu, even your Fela Durotoye, even your Paul Adefarasin, whoever it is that you now want to go there and be the brain. What you now do is, you now team them up with the political stronghold to ensure a succession plan 8 years later when your political stronghold finds finish. Someone says Senator Adeleke and Peter Obi can do it. They can do it, but they can't get there. They can't get there. In my humble opinion, more only debe. Look at what happened last election. It was Atiku versus Buhari. And this year, if Atiku stands up, Tinubu stands up, it will become Atiku versus Tinubu. Let's remember that going into Coscharis with 10 million naira is a waste of your time and effort. Let's cut our coat according to our material. Thank you so much, very much. Just my thoughts on the political arena in Nigeria. Am I making sense? I know a lot of you want to disagree with me. Yes, these are not the best candidates, but these are the best possible candidates. No young person standing on his own is going to win election in Nigeria. It's going to be hard. You can't, you need a godfather. So better piggyback your godfather, enter there, make an impact, and then have a succession plan 8 years later so your godfather can trust you and hand over power to you. That makes sense. So our young people that need to lead, if they have focus, they better ride on the platform of a strong candidate. And then from there, their plan is not this year. Their plan is a succession plan. Years. Let's be honest. Nobody's going to want to leave the office 4 years. Now, Nigeria, you don't know your brothers again. You they talk like say you fall from heaven. They won't hand over in 4 years, but in 8 years, they can hand over to their deputy. If the deputy shows loyalty and the deputy shows strategy and all the necessary requirements, I believe it's doable. God bless you all. My humble thoughts, I'm sharing them with you, and lie to yourself and think you can carry what is bigger than you. Take care. God bless.